We welcome you back to Las Vegas and our continuing coverage of the GEICO Shark Championship, the final event of the PBA World Series of Bowling. And now, for the first time ever, two-handed bowlers meet up in PBA action. And Kimberly standing by with one of them, Osku Palermaa.
That's right, Osku. You guys are going up against each other. The first time in our telecast history that two-handing bowlers are going against each other. Now, do you think that the kids at home will want to take up two-handed bowling after watching you guys?
I think so. I've seen it's happened all around the world already. So, and now we were on TV at the same time. So, of course, two hands is better than one.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
The number 2 player finished 5th in the 2004 U.S. Open at the age of 20, representing Finland, the Big O, Osku Palermaa.
So Osku will bat lead off here in match number 3, the semifinals of the Shark Championship, brought to you by GEICO. Whoa! A violent strike.
Hey, Rob, am I seeing things?
You are not, my friend. You may be seeing the future of bowling is what you may be seeing.
Got 2 players here, one from Australia, one from Finland. They're using 2 hands and no thumb.
2 guys from 2 diverse parts of the globe, both bowling two-handed. Oh, yeah. That's how we start, people. Thank you, gentlemen.
They're not only not using their thumb, they're not using the entire lane. They're only using like 3/4 of the lane now because the ball's in the air for about the first 15 feet.
Belmo slides now, though, Randy, over to the left lane where Jason has had some issues throughout the course of the day.
And Osku is the higher seed, so he gets choice of which lane he wants to start and finish on. He chose to start on the left lane, which means Osku will finish on the right. Jason has to finish the 10th frame on the left.
Jason.
There's the 2 hands. There's the loft. You can see just barely clearing the left gutter. And a rev rate, approaching, what do you think, about 650 RPMs?
I mean, how about just the great camera work to keep up with that ball? I mean, that is a quick whip of the camera to stay in line.
Rob, we only work with the best in the business. You know that.
Understood.
So now it appears that the left lane is going to be an issue, something to watch throughout this match and the championship match.
Although Osku struck on the left in the first, and here he comes over to the right side. His effort in the second. And leaves the 2-4. Two-handed bowling, not the only thing these 2 guys have in common.
I mean, our lives are very similar in terms of how we started, our age.
But his father just owned the bowling center, mine just working it.
Right, yeah. I mean, we even got engaged to our girlfriends at a very close time in our lives as well. But, you know, I've got a kid now, so hurry up.
And you're married.
And have a kid,
Yeah, but my
right?
brother's married. That's enough, right?
Okay.
And he's got a kid.
But, yeah, I mean, he started when he was like 18 months. I started when I was 18 months. You know, he started traveling the world when he was 16. I started traveling the world when we were 16. And it's very weird how, you know, 2 completely different people living in 2 completely different opposite sides of the world had a very similar story in how we both got into bowling.
Points there, Randy. They almost sounded like a married couple going back and forth with their conversation.
Take a look at Osku Palermaa's arsenal. He's going with a high road. And judging by the last ball reaction on the right lane, he needs to make a speed adjustment, Rob, and try to give that bowling ball time to react down the lane.
Leaves the 10 pin.
Not only is there a lot of revolutions leaving these 2 players' hands, but there's a lot of velocity behind it as well. Take a look. It's a very similar setup. There's the 2 hands. And, well, I'll tell you what, that looks A lot like Jason Belmonte's delivery, doesn't it?
Very similar styles from the two-handed bowlers. It will be an interesting conclusion to our Osku-Belmo semifinal. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler welcoming you back to our continuing coverage of the GEICO Shark Championship while we were away. Back-to-back rut rows from both competitors. Osku in the 5th, an open frame 8, and then this effort from Belmo, Randy.
And both Greek churches on the left lane. Here's Belmonte's attempt. It's all about getting pin count, but he almost made it.
So Belmonte sits with a 7-pin lead as Osku steps up to close out the 6th frame. 2 strikes for Osku, just 3 for Belmonte. Finland versus Australia. Both of them will be representing the world team. In the upcoming USA versus the world broadcast.
Strike for Palermo.
Needed strike for Osku after that open frame in the 5th. And now he goes back to that left lane.
This is going to be faster with probably a little more loft to hold the line. Only struck 1 time on that left lane. And that was back in the 1st frame when he started the match.
And this is target.
1, 2, 4.
So not as much loft, but a lot more speed, and it just blew right through the end of the pattern and never turned over. And even though there's all those revolutions, there comes a point where the ball actually hydroplanes on the lane and never picks up. And that's exactly what happened there.
Open frame again for Osku on the left lane.
And that's why I think it's always dangerous to try to hook a ball at a spare on the tour with the oil patterns being as tough as they are. And maybe with the exception of Cheetah, where you know there's free friction to the right. And his ball there didn't hook again. He's chopped a spare, and now he trails by 19. Jason Belmonte looking to strike once again on the right lane.
Gets the 7 to drop late. His 3rd strike on that right lane, 4th overall. And Belmo will be in action on our next telecast. It's the top 6 American players, the top 6 international players from qualifying here at the World Series of Bowling, squaring off in a special 1-game team competition. You can see it Sunday, January 9th at 1 Eastern. Belmo and Palermaa, adversaries in this match, but they will be teammates in early January.
That makes it 3 telecasts in a row for Jason Belmonte. If my math is correct, Rob.
It is, my friend. It is. So here we go to the problematic left lane. Still an issue.
Tricky left lane. See how it never picked up in the back part of the lane? It just kind of hydroplaned the whole way. Now, right now, these 2 players are trying to process this information and figure out what to do to strike on that left lane. And Jason Belmonte actually did a pretty good job there, just covering the bucket and coming away clean. Remember, he has to finish the match on that lane.
And the way this match is going, it will go to the 10th frame. So Osku, 2 of his last 3 frames have been open frames, but he's on the more friendly right lane right now.
Yeah, the right lane's not an issue, Rob. It's this lane coming up right here, and this is going to either win the match for Osku or cost him the match. This next shot right here in the 9th frame, because he can still strike out for 203. Jason Belmonte right now is going at a 192 pace. It may be a pretty tall order if Jason Belmonte has to double in the 10th frame on the left lane.
So Osku on this left lane here in match number 3. Strike, spare, open frame 8, open frame 9. Let's see what he does here in the 9th. Big strike!
That's huge.
Pressure moves to the Belmonte camp.
And that was the high hard one. That ball got down the lane in a hurry with some bad intentions. Watch this thing. Right over the 6th. Excuse me, the last arrow on the left side of the lane. The 7th arrow. Lofting the 7th arrow.
Wide of target, and this is supposed to be the easy lane for Belmo.
What the hell was that?
And well, this is a misfire, and on the good lane where Jason Belmonte needed it, you could see how he's been lofting everything over the 7th arrow. That went over the 6th arrow, and that had no chance of hitting the head pin.
So covers that one, and now he slides to the issue-oriented left lane. Belmo on the left lane, 9 spare, strike, open frame 9, 6 spare. Can max out at 199, but he needs all 3 here on the left to apply some pressure to Osku.
Right now, Jason's trying to figure out, what adjustment do I make? How do I get this ball to hit the pocket?
Let's see what he's made of.
And I'm sure if you would have asked him when he stepped up in the 10th frame, he would have probably taken any kind of good count and a mark, which would have made Osku strike on the first ball in the 10th. Instead, he leaves a 4-6 split, and he's going to come away with an open frame. Osku Palermaa needs a mark.
176 in the books for Belmo. All you have to do is look at his reaction to know how this match went for Jason. Just 4 strikes.
Got to cover it. Osku Palermaa, at least for today, with a mark here, will claim his spot as the best 2-hander. But just for today.
And he goes single hand here. Nails the 10-pin. Now needs 5 for the win and the move to the title match. Crazier things have happened. And Osku moves on to the title match. 182-176 for the finished product, and he will take on Dan McClellan, the Canadian. The title match in its entirety when we return to Vegas.